When you're somebody who's lucky enough to get paid to do creative work, you've probably been under a deadline before in which you no longer have inspiration or passion for the project you're on. And I want to talk about some of the things you can do to try to push past that, to get it done, to get a version that you can at least be happy with. And I think a lot of that goes with mindset. But let's talk about some tricks you can do to push through creative blocks. Now, truth be told, nothing fixes creative blocks like time. If you don't have time, then you've put yourself in a position where you didn't build it in and leave it with the necessary stuff. But I think there's a certain amount of pressure, depending if you're ADHD or not, that can help motivate those creativity muscles or make you pick something and then decide to be passionate about it. But everything I say, and I'm going to constantly be saying it, is time is often the key. Your passion may grow and you strike while the iron's hot and then drop the project for another day or two, maybe a week, maybe a month, depending on what it is that you're doing. And then you pick it up right where you left off because you saw a movie that just absolutely got the brain ticking on all cylinders. You were just going, 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 and now you're back to work on it. But in creative work, often time is the limiting factor. So grain of salt there, they say. Some of these may take 5 minutes, some of these may take weeks, others may just take, an hour. And that's where I try to stick to for my fixes because they have to happen during the workday, because I've got to get the work done. So the first one is to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to engage in an activity that makes you passionate but doesn't fully distract you. It just gets you back on the creative mindset. So for me, my big one recently has been whenever I'm feeling very spent, I think about a deck in Magic the Gathering that I want to work on. And I just get started on it because it's something that I know gets me revved up and interested in learning, but I often peter out and get tired of because I'm like, oh, wait, now it's gotten not fun anymore. And right when it's about to reach that not fun level, I try to swap right back. It takes like 5 minutes. I just look up a commander and I go, ooh, that's a cool commander. I let the gear start spinning up and I turn back to my video. And why? It's just so much better because I took a small break. My eyes are a little bit cleaner. I've, mentally separated from that video for a moment. And now I'm taking this spun up engine and I get to apply it over here. That gets me through the next bit. It's more like taking a bump than it is like truly loading up on gas. It can help me push through, but sometimes it revs me up more than I think I'm going to get out of it. And I get, 30, 40 good minutes of creativity out of a 5-minute break. This could be anything for you, a chapter of a book that you want to read, and just stop while you still crave. I just find that's the best point, is if you get past it, then you just use that creative energy and you let the engine die again. You don't want to go into an idle mode. You need to be right in that zone where you're finding something that elevates you into interest. It could be opening up a game, playing for 10 minutes, and then stopping. You just need to have the discipline to stop. And that's something that's going to be hard depending on what you've picked to use as your, pick me up creatively. I think that books and something that has a solid ending state, a level of a game that you just replay that level that you try to speed run. And that way, it's contained to a small thing. Things that you can maybe do on your phone. I don't think doom scrolling is helpful. I think it's better to go to a channel that does things that inspires you and watch just a little bit of their things. And the people that you admire, watch their stuff. Don't go to TikTok and think maybe I'll find it there unless you're truly just desperate. I don't think you'll do anything but waste your time there because it's hard to find a stopping point there. Go to a channel you like, their video will end and you'll know, boom, that's it. A similar one to this is just to go find something that you recently remember sparking your creativity and listen or watch it again, whether that be a scene from a show, a voice line from a game, or a video you watched that you specifically know lit your passion last time you watched it in the recent past. Go watch it. Go just throw it on for a moment and let that rampancy happen in your mind and then roll over to what you got to do. And even if they aren't related tasks, I just think it's a state of mind to be in a creative flow, and that at least being in it and trying to change gears is better than trying to start the engine. Of course, if you have the time to just set it down while the iron's, cold, set it down and come back when it's hot, that's totally fine. If that's a week, if that's an hour, if that's whatever is within your window, if you think that will do it for you, sometimes you may need an hour break. And maybe it's deliverable by the end of the day, maybe in 3 hours. But sometimes the hour of not working may feel like a lack to you. But the whole time you're off of it, if you choose to do something simple, go cook yourself something, go do something boring. Don't start a task that is important that you need to think about. Start a task that's simple that you can get done. By doing a task that you can't occupy yourself other than thinking. Don't listen to music unless you think that'll inspire you. Do something that's boring, but you need to get done. That way you're being productive, so there's no like sitting residual feel bad emotions from being unproductive, but you're also bored. You're doing laundry and you're folding it. Why? Well, because all you have time to do is think. And you're thinking about that book, or you're thinking about that thing you're writing, or you're thinking about that video editing, and you're like, man, I don't have any ideas. Man, it'd be cool if someone like jumped over a shark. That'd be cool. I mean, we can't do that one. What if we like just like added in a shark emoji? That'd be kind of funny. That'd be, oh, maybe we do this, maybe we do that. You just kind of get that time to be bored and think. Boredom is a great tool for creative stuff because you're often refusing to engage in being bored when you're trying to be creative. You're like thinking of anything to stop whatever it is from being boring, because that's not the goal of art, right? It's to inspire something. I don't think many pieces of art aim to bore you. And so by being bored, you're thinking of every way out of it. And if you just apply that boredom to something else, then you're using this time for good in both ways. And I think that an hour break and then 2 hours of work is a better product than 3 hours of half-baked intention. So if you have that time, spend the time doing that. In the case where you have to get it done and you really truly have no idea, I'm going to say this in a very rough way, is go steal something else. Go look at something else and just take it. If you're doing work that is not just, a photo image of something, go take a photo of something. Don't copy someone's logo, design, or whatever. Just paste it onto yours. But go find one you like and take everything except, tweak one thing. Make it cursive instead of that. Make it this instead of that. And make it black and white instead of full color. Do something. And I don't think you should do this with the intention of just stealing it. You should do it with the idea that I could do that, but, and by moving it from the lens of wherever it was, right? I wouldn't go personally steal the intro from another tech YouTuber's video. Now, I may go look at it for inspiration because they may have a shot that's just obvious that we didn't think of. But if they had a special skit, no, don't take that. That's a just dick move. But if they just did a shot where they angled the computer a certain way and it just showed the thing better, that's really not belonging to them. I think it's just about going through, looking at it, seeing what's clearly like public domain ideas, like, oh, I didn't think about that. That's a great idea. And then the creative ball starts rolling. You're like, I'll do this, I'll do that. But inherently by you trying to reproduce it, you will either add something to it of your own flavor because you have preference. And as long as you're not just the most dry mind ever, you're going to add something by being you, whether it be that same shot, but you add a Funko Pop, whether it be that same sentence, but they say it wryly. However you want to add your creative measure to it, it will come out and essentially bleach that to be more of a trope than a stolen thing. If you want to use it, go use it. And then just make sure that you didn't just full on steal it. Make sure that you added some creative flair to it. And adding to something else is way better than creating something new. And so you end up with a unique thing. How many movies have a princess being saved? How many MacGuffins turn you invisible? It's not just a copy of Shrek. It's not just a copy of The One Ring. They're their own thing. And you're just relating it to the soonest thing you know. And if it's a movie and they use the trunk shot, it's paying homage to Reservoir Dogs. It's not stealing. They don't call it that because there's only so many things to do. And it's just like, oh, they get credit for having done it first. But there will be many who copy it after you and many who copied it before you. So do something, add to it, and maybe you're lucky and make something whole unique in that. But if you need to paint a castle on landscape and that's like a commission you've gotten and they give you a rough idea and you notice Bob Ross has a landscape that looks just like that, go get inspired by Bob Ross's. Take the scene, move it, pitch it, whatever. No one's going to likely draw the comparison unless you try to take a one-for-one change. But I don't think you can paint exactly like Bob Ross. Maybe you can. The point is he wants to teach you how to. But I think that you paint differently than him. I think that you write differently from Tolkien. I think that you edit differently from me. And if you go watch one of our videos, get inspired by a shot I did and recreate it shot for shot, I bet you $20 I recreated it from somewhere and then I took my spin on it. So you're not stealing from me. You're not stealing from anybody unless you're trying to be a thief. In that case, I doubt you work a creative position. That's just not fun. I think creative people should steal from creative people because we change it and we make it and we make it ours. And by making it ours, we find people like us who like what we like and enjoy what we make. So those are my tips on how to be creative under pressure. If you don't have pressure pushing you, I think that you should create some. If this is just a hobby and you want to get better, I think you should add some personal goals. Tell people you're going to have it done by the end of the month so they're excited and asking you about it so you feel the pressure to get it done. But build in that time, like I said, to lose and find creativity again. It's not like it's gone forever. And sometimes you just need to make it exist and then you can make it perfect. So don't get too caught in the weeds, making sure it's the exact one you want. At times, it's best to just get it started, make the bad version, or it may not even be bad. I can't change oil from an engine, I don't go to Valvoline and because it takes 10 minutes, think it's not worth $60. I'd rather pay less. Of course I would. But just because they can do it fast doesn't make it not valuable. And just because it's not the version you imagined doesn't mean it's not great to the person who's receiving the product. I hope that helps you all find some way to find creativity when you think you've lost it or push past those moments where it's difficult. And thank you all for watching. I'll talk to you later. Peace.